If I told you that 6 of the most popular SUVs and trucks sitting in driveways right now are quietly falling apart before they ever reach 40,000 miles, would you still feel safe signing the paperwork? Imagine buying a vehicle you believed would last for years, only to discover that the engine, the transmission, or the hybrid system can fail so early that the repair bill arrives while you are still making the original payments. That is exactly what thousands of owners are living through. They trusted the badge, the marketing, and the showroom promise. Then the first major breakdown hit, and the feeling that followed was the same one you get when you realize you have been sold something that was never going to hold up. We are going to walk through the models that keep showing up with the same catastrophic problems long before the odometer should be a concern. Stay with me because the patterns that emerge are hard to ignore once you see them clearly. Start with a vehicle that fills parking lots and school drop-off lines every single day. The Nissan Rogue looks like the practical choice. It is the kind of SUV families pick when they want something affordable, roomy enough, and supposedly dependable for the daily grind. On the surface, it checks the boxes. Underneath, the story is very different. The turbocharged 3-cylinder engine with variable compression technology was sold as a smart engineering solution that would deliver both power and efficiency. In practice, the system has proven fragile. Internal bearings and links wear out and fail. When they do, the damage is rarely minor. Drivers describe the same sequence over and over. Everything feels normal for a stretch of miles. Then a metallic knocking sound begins. Power drops. The engine seizes or loses oil pressure so quickly that the only option left is a full replacement. Many of these engines never make it close to the mileage that once felt routine for a modern vehicle. The continuously variable transmission compounds the trouble. When a Rogue CVT fails, it cannot be rebuilt the way older automatic transmissions sometimes can. The only path is a complete unit replacement, and the cost lands hard. One owner told the story of driving home from work when the engine began knocking on a familiar stretch of highway. Within minutes, the vehicle lost power completely. The tow truck ride, the diagnostic, and the eventual engine replacement stretched into weeks. The family had to rearrange work schedules and school runs while the car sat. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration opened an investigation into the engine failures, a step that does not happen for rare or isolated complaints. For people who bought the Rogue expecting a low-drama daily driver, the reality has been a quiet form of stress that never fully goes away. Every unusual noise becomes a question. Every cold start carries a small moment of uncertainty. The financial hit is obvious, but the emotional weight of never quite trusting the vehicle is harder to measure and just as real. Move from the daily family hauler to a vehicle that was supposed to represent the future of family transportation. The Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid arrived with a clear promise. It would combine the space and convenience of a minivan with the efficiency of a hybrid system, giving parents a way to save money at the pump without giving up the features they needed. The marketing painted a picture of quiet, capable, responsible ownership. The ownership experience for many has been far less peaceful. The hybrid system has a documented history of malfunctions that range from sudden shutdowns while driving to complete failures that leave the van stranded. Battery and hybrid system problems have triggered multiple recalls because of fire risk. That detail alone changes the emotional temperature of ownership. Parents have described parking the van in the garage at night and feeling a low-level unease about what might happen while the family slept. One family recounted loading the vehicle for a multi-state trip with children and luggage. Midway through the journey, the hybrid system shut down without warning. They sat on the side of a highway with kids in the back, waiting for a tow, while the van that was supposed to make the trip easier became the reason everything stopped. Technicians who service these vans frequently struggle to diagnose the root causes quickly. That means extended time in the service bay and families scrambling for temporary transportation. Every additional recall notice arrives like another reminder that the technology was released before it was fully sorted. The fuel savings that looked attractive on paper evaporate once the cost of repeated repairs and the disruption of breakdowns enter the picture. What was positioned as the smart, modern family vehicle has left many owners feeling they paid a premium for a source of ongoing uncertainty rather than the reliable transportation they thought they were buying. Consider next the vehicle that sold a different kind of dream. The Ford Bronco Sport arrived with images of trails, weekend escapes, and a compact package that still felt capable. Buyers saw themselves loading camping gear or bikes and heading out with confidence. The reality for a significant number of owners has been far less adventurous. The 1.5-liter EcoBoost engine developed a reputation for cracking fuel injectors. When those injectors fail, fuel can leak. In the worst cases, the result has been engine fires. Ford issued a recall, yet many owners already lived through the moment of seeing smoke rising from under the hood on a trip they had planned for weeks. Turbocharger failures and overheating problems add further risk. Drivers have been left stranded in remote areas with a vehicle that was marketed as ready for exactly those conditions. One owner described packing the Bronco Sport for a camping weekend, excited to finally use the vehicle the way the advertisements suggested. On the drive out of town, the engine overheated and the trip ended before it began. Even when engines are replaced under warranty, the pattern of repeated dealership visits raises legitimate questions about whether the underlying design will hold up over time. The Bronco name carries decades of association with toughness and capability. The Sport version has left many feeling they purchased a gamble instead of a reliable partner for the outdoors. The financial cost of repairs and downtime is real. The quieter cost is the slow erosion of the sense of freedom the vehicle was supposed to deliver. When every longer trip carries the possibility of another failure, the adventure starts to feel smaller. Luxury is supposed to remove these worries. The Infiniti QX50 carries a higher price, a more refined interior, and the expectation that the extra money buys better engineering and fewer problems. Look beneath the leather and the badge and the story shifts. The vehicle shares the same turbocharged 3-cylinder engine with variable compression technology and the same continuously variable transmission that have caused so much trouble in the Nissan Rogue. The failures follow the same patterns. Engines that develop internal damage. Transmissions that fail early and require complete replacement. Owners pay more for the privilege of dealing with the same underlying weaknesses. Consumer Reports has rated the QX50 well below average for reliability, a judgment that stands out in a segment where buyers expect better. The experience has been described as paying for a premium product and receiving the reliability of a much less expensive one. Frequent service visits replace the calm ownership people expected. One owner spoke of the growing frustration of watching a vehicle that still looked new spend more time at the dealership than on the road. The upfront cost is only the beginning. Ongoing repairs and the risk of major component failure turn what should have been a long-term investment in comfort into a steady financial drain. The badge suggests refinement and care. The ownership reality for many has been closer to managing a series of expensive disappointments. The same pattern of early and severe failure appears in trucks that once defined dependable American work vehicles. The Chevrolet Silverado and GMC Sierra built their reputations on the idea that they could handle hard use for years. Recent model years have damaged that reputation. Cylinder deactivation technology, designed to improve fuel economy by shutting down cylinders under light loads, has produced widespread lifter failures. Drivers report a sudden loud noise from the engine, followed by a loss of power or complete shutdown, sometimes at highway speeds. The damage is frequently severe enough that the entire engine must be replaced. Class action lawsuits have followed, with owners arguing that the problems were known and still allowed to reach customers. The 10-speed automatic transmission brings its own set of complaints, including rough shifting and unexpected failures. These issues are not limited to a handful of vehicles. They appear across the lineup with enough frequency that many owners now approach every longer drive with a degree of caution they never expected to feel. One contractor described the moment his relatively new Silverado lost power on the way to a job site. The tow, the diagnosis, and the eventual engine replacement cost time and money that a working truck is not supposed to cost so early in its life. Even when warranty coverage applies, the downtime still hurts. Once the warranty ends, the repair bills climb into territory that makes long-term ownership feel far less secure. Trucks that were once trusted to simply keep working have become vehicles that demand more attention and more money than many buyers anticipated. That same powertrain trouble carries directly into the full-size SUVs built on the same foundation. The GMC Yukon, Chevrolet Tahoe, and Cadillac Escalade are sold as spacious, powerful, and prestigious. They carry higher prices and the expectation of a more refined ownership experience. The cylinder deactivation system that damages engines in the trucks produces the same failures here. Lifter problems lead to catastrophic engine damage and complete replacements. The 10-speed transmission continues to deliver rough shifts and sudden issues. Owners of these larger SUVs describe the same cycle of breakdowns, extended time at the dealership, and growing frustration. A family trip can end with the engine failing on a remote stretch of road. Luxury features and a higher sticker price do little to soften the experience when the vehicle is sitting in a service bay instead of carrying people comfortably. One owner of a relatively new Escalade spoke of the disconnect between the image the vehicle projects and the reality of repeated major repairs. The true cost of ownership rises well beyond the monthly payment once engine and transmission work become regular events. These SUVs were meant to signal success and dependability. For many owners, they have instead become a source of financial pressure and quiet disappointment. Across these 6 vehicles, the pattern is consistent. Attractive marketing, technology that promised improvement, and early failures that leave owners stranded, stressed, and significantly out of pocket. The real price of a vehicle is never only the number on the window sticker. It is the nights spent wondering whether the engine will start the next morning. It is the days lost to dealership visits and rental cars. It is the money that disappears into repairs that should not have been necessary so soon in the life of a modern vehicle. A polished exterior and confident advertising mean very little if the machine spends more time broken than moving. Before you commit to any of these models, take the time to dig into recent reliability data, read detailed owner accounts, and ask direct questions about long-term durability. The information is available if you look past the showroom presentation. If what you have heard today helps you avoid a costly mistake, take a moment right now to like this video, share it with anyone who is currently shopping, and leave a comment with the vehicle you were considering or the experience you have already had. Subscribe so you do not miss future warnings that could save you time and money. Stay informed, stay cautious, choose a vehicle that actually lasts. When the odometer climbs and the only sound under the hood is quiet, reliable progress, you will know the decision was the right one.
Please subscribe me, guys. I need your support.